In section 124, Tennyson kind of outlines in a very vague but a poetic way his faith, what we would call a faith journey. At least that's how I interpret it. Um, he he says, when we pray, we're invoking whether it's a he, they, one, all, within, without, power of darkness. He's kind of saying a lot of the specifics here I don't know. Um, I didn't find him in the world or the sun or an eagle's wing or an insect's eye. So some people, I believe it's called natural theology, natural philosophy. Anyway, it's the idea that through logic and examination of the world around us, one can prove God's existence or be very confident about some aspects of God's character. And when he's saying here, when I find him not in eagle's wing or insect's eye, he's saying that doesn't work for me. Nor through the petty questions men may try, nor through the petty cobwebs we've spun. And I think what I hear there is our theological treaties, our creeds, and all the ways that we've tried to describe God. Tennyson is saying, I don't find him there. And then he tells you what he has, his personal experience with God. But when I had fallen asleep, if e'er when faith had fallen asleep, I heard a voice, believe no more. So when the world is just pinning him down and saying, there is no belief, there is no God, there is nothing. It's just death and annihilation, and there's nothing. When he tumbled in the godless deep, that's of course a much more poetic way of saying that. The ever-breaking shore that tumbled in the godless deep. He says, like a man in wrath, the heart stood up and answered, I have felt. Tennyson says, in my darkest moments, I have felt something. I know, or I believe that there is a God there who loves me. Even when I was as a child that cries, to me, this image is an echo of section 54 when he says, so runs my dream, but what am I? An infant crying in the night, an infant crying for the light. I'm just this child crying, but even crying knows his father is near. What I am beheld again. Let's see. No man is out of darkness came the hands that reach through nature, molding men. So, in all the trial and the struggle, it has caused him. He's lost confidence in a lot of the ways that we try to describe and connect with God. But even at the same time, he's felt a deep personal reassurance that God is there and that God is near. I love the way he describes his personal journey. I believe there is value in our attempts to describe God and to clarify who he is and what he wants and how he interacts with us. But this personal experience has to trump um, all of that. Or all of that stuff has to be built on a personal experience. So this is a beautiful description of a faith journey. That which we dare invoke to bless, our dearest faith, our ghastliest doubt, he, they, one, all, within, without, the power in darkness whom we guess. I found him not in world or sun, or eagle's wing or insect's eye, nor through the questions men may try, the petty cobwebs we have spun. If ere when faith had fallen asleep, I heard a voice, believe no more, and heard an ever-breaking shore that tumbled in the godless deep, a warmth within the breast would melt the freezing reason's colder part, and like a man in wrath the heart stood up and answered, I have felt. No, like a child in doubt and fear, but that blind clamor made me wise. Then was I as a child that cries, but crying knows his father near. And what I am beheld again, what is, and no man understands. And out of darkness came the hands that reach through nature, molding men.